So shifting gears into this topic, right? How to attract new clients with content marketing. I take this from the perspective, of course, of attracting new insurance clients, because we do a lot of content marketing on all sides of our business, and attracting insurance clients is part of it, but it's not all of it. But we're just going to kind of center focus in to attracting new clients into your business as an agent or an agency owner. First, by saying content marketing term, because it is a long-term endeavor. First started content marketing for insurance clients. I did some statistics on this 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago was the first time that we started doing to attract Medicare clients to us. That's crazy to think about. So it's a long-term thing. We've attracted more clients through, again, I've always said your best lead, if you'd like to call it that, is a referral, but your next best one that's better than a one from content marketing. Because not only on you, they kind of a lot of times know what they want if your content is good, educates them on what they want. So there's way less them. So it's way there's a lot less work you have to do in terms of working with that person. And we've written more business than most agents have in their total book just from content. It's been a big part of what we do, and we're doing it today. So when we talk content marketing, Mr. Glenn Shelton, what is the first thing that comes to mind for you?
So sides to this, and this is a great topic. We're probably going to have a part 2, just based on how much there is to talk about. The first thing, and this is dated, I guess you could say in some ways, is blogs. Writing an internet article that you can publish on your website that someone can find, through a search engine, or they find your website. You wrote something about Medicare. One person in particular absolutely crushed this early on in the day. I'm going to give a shout out right now on the pod, Jeff Root. I know you're listening, Jeff. You're probably number one fan out there, and I appreciate that. But Jeff, being facetious there, but Jeff has selltermlife.com, that website. He talks a ton about essentially blogging for life insurance topics that people are going to search for. And especially if you do like long keywords. To give you an fast here, senior insurance is in Sandy, Utah. So if you were to blog about a topic like, what is the best plan G for living in Sandy, Utah? Like if something like that was like title of your article, and then in your blogging all about, why plan G. And then if someone's searching for that term specifically, right? And there's so much you can get into in an SEO perspective, the volume of certain. So before you invest time or money into specific topics, you can know what the volume looks like. You try to basically get as much of that search volume as you can. Or if someone just finds your website organically, right? They're searching for a local business, or they, happen to know you or your company, and they go on your website and then they're reading more about it. It gives you this authenticity, this expert. You, like Christian said, I mean, it's genuinely one of the best leads you can have, because people are coming to you, they know you, they know what you're talking about. But that's the first thing that comes to mind for me, and it is a little outdated here in 25, but blogging. That's just one piece of content marketing. What comes? I already know what you're going to say, I think, but what comes?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that we've done content marketing related to attract clients. I mean, I have books about Medicare that have brought clients in. I have done kind of some of the blog things on some of our other websites, not a ton, but a little bit. But the biggest thing I think for me in the agency was YouTube videos and podcasts. Now, here's too shy to kind of go down that type of road, but I think if you can get over that.
Do you want to talk to those people really fast?
Sure.
Talk to the shy, because I not too long ago I started YouTube, and they said they would never do it. They're like, no way. What would you say, person, if they're listening right now?
This might sound extreme, but I sometimes you wonder
20 more minutes, Glenn. Out of my mouth. 20, hold on. We're almost there.
No, I think I would argue that a YouTube channel, you could make the argument that it is, if you take it seriously, it can become your marketing tool, your number one prospecting tool in your business, if not top 2 or 3. Like, it is so powerful when you put the time in and kind of build it out. And here's the thing, people are afraid to be on camera. It's kind of like the
Right.
same kind of aspect, done it before, you have stage fright. But I feel like with video, it's a lot easier to get over that, because at some point, self-do it guys fairly camera. It's not nearly as stalking in front of an audience. You can edit it. So you can edit, right? You can really position yourself to look very good. But I think you got clients in a big way, and do it through content marketing. I don't think there are not too many better ways, I'll say this,
How do you
than
get
a
over the
YouTube channel.
hump? Right, I get that, and that's what I said to this agent, but how do they get over the hump? How do they get over here? What the best thing they can do? You know, it's like you just shove them out of the airplane, say, "Pull your
Yes.
chute on the way
Yes.
down," you know?
You turn on the camera and you talk, and you force yourself to do that. There is no
Yeah,
other way.
yeah.
Because I can tell you any type of like encouraging thing, or like, I can meditate beforehand. If you meditate about this for 20 minutes exactly, like none of that's going to work. The only is shaking out the jitters by just like making a sales call or speaking in front of an audience. It's the same type of thing. And one thing people also have anxiety about is their videos being bad. And every single person I've ever known, and even people I haven't known that I'm a fan of, I've heard say this, including when you first start out, your videos are bad. Everybody's videos are bad. As you go, they get better. You get more polished. You learn what's going to work versus what's not going to work. You keep getting better. More you do it. But yeah, it's about just shoving them. There's no other way. I could tell you 100 different things right now are going to make you feel any better.
The piece of that too, where it's bad, people want bad videos. If you're coming into content marketing thinking it needs to be polished to the degree of like a Hollywood studio, that honestly turns off a lot of people. They want authenticity. They go to YouTube, they're searching on you to talk to them and give them like the real information. They don't want a TV commercial when they turn on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other piece of this. And I'm telling you, a ton of content and a ton of videos and a ton of podcasts. I know that fear. I started a podcast called the Heroes Huddle podcast, and it died after 7 episodes because I was focused on trying to make it so polished that it was too work. It became too difficult. Polished, and the more content, the better it is. The better it is. And like Christian said, just do it. Just turn on the camera and start talking.
And you'll get better over time. Like you will learn, right? The Everything Medicare podcast, many of you know about it. To this day, it is still the #1 Medicare podcast in the country. I can't believe that. Depending on the platform, there's some there where it might be #2 or #3, some platforms. But overall, you Google Medicare podcast, and usually it's the first one that comes up. And it's been so powerful, like so powerful. And when I started doing that, I was literally talking into my phone into an app. There was no video. I did not know what I was doing. Like I literally had no clue. I was clueless, but I had the mentality of I'm just going to start and see where this goes. That was and it blew up. It is this audience, even to this day, will put out usually an episode a week, always get 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, sometimes 3,000 downloads. Like they're just such a force.
I think last AAP, there was one that did 10,000.
Well, that's YouTube, not the podcast.
Oh,
two different things. The podcast on YouTube, there was a YouTube video we put up, and on YouTube it reached, I think it's at 11,000.
Crazy. Think about that, guys. That's a lot of listeners.
I have videos on our consumer YouTube channel that are at 20,000 views, and it's free. Think about that.
That's what I'm saying. What's the cost? That's my first thought when you say that is, what do you, and again, this is someone who's a lifetime marketer in this space. Do you know what the 20,000 seniors is? Not only, but if you're doing an outbound campaign, it could be callers, it could be mail, whatever it is. So it's not only is there a significant cost to reaching 20,000 people, it's also not going to have the same level of
it's not organic. Like you know that every single person that clicked and watched the video willingly did it. They wanted to know what was on the other side.